Civilized. Ask yourself, young homie, who's scared of you? Who's really worried about you and what you're gonna do to them? Right? I mean, every day, young homie, you deal with women that somehow take your chips and fuck up your life. Every day, young homie, you can't cope with life, so you get high, you get drunk, right? Every day, young homie, you haven't found a way to get out of your current position in order to better yourself. Every day, young homie, you sit there and you collect a check every 1st and 15th like you're on welfare. You know what I'm saying? This is county day, and you want to take pride in it. Every day, young homie, you don't control your own life. So who the fuck's scared of you? Who would worry about you? Why would any motherfucker who got money be scared of your young ass, your dumb ass? And when I say young, again, you understand. I don't mean age, I mean mentality. Who would be scared of the uncivilized motherfucker? Right? That every night, every weekend, you go to get drunk because you hate your life so much that you have to overdo it on your enjoyment. Right? Who would be scared of you, homie? Why would you be a threat to my chips and my empire? You know what I'm saying? You just like a whole bunch of... You ever watched The Wizard of Oz? And the motherfucker, you know, he had the castle or whatever the fuck he had, and everybody was outside, and he just had to keep motherfuckers from coming in there trying to take his chips, but he wasn't really worried about them, right? He had an army to stop dumb motherfuckers like you. He had all kind of shit. So when I hear this whole, you know what I'm saying, uncivilized, civilized podcast that I'm trying to get to you to understand is this. Your bad habits, homie, your fetishes, your weirdness, your strippers, your Mac talk, your pimp talk, everything. What the fuck that got to do with money? And why would I be scared of you? You ain't no motherfucking threat, you shiny suit motherfucker. If you look on the Malcolm X movie, there's the time when they were walking down the street, Denzel Washington, and they got their little feather in their hat and a Cap Calloway look, and showtime, showtime. Nobody's scared of you dancing motherfuckers. Nobody's wanna be thug, wanna be hustle, wanna be small time thinking dumb motherfuckers. Nobody worried about you because you uncivilized. You haven't straightened yourself up. You don't know how to be a man yet. Nobody worried about you at all. So when I bring up this podcast, the main thing I want you to do, I want you to look at who you are, what kind of man you are. You know what I'm saying? I put this out a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? These are the people in your neighborhood. And it's like a charmer. You guys take value in being a charmer. That's what you do to women. You don't do it to men, so you don't know how to be a man. So you learn how to, yeah, man, that was cool. And you over here, you know, like the dudes the hype man before a boxer. Here comes the greatest. Here comes the greatest. The champ is here. The champ is... Oh, you dumb motherfuckers. Nobody's scared of your ass. See, if you don't straighten yourself up, young homie, if you don't take this shit on of constantly improving yourself, and I'm not talking about this chip game, because that comes too, it's a constant, it's a lifestyle. But the inside lifestyle, the internal thing you have to do is civilize yourself. You understand what I mean? Get rid of all the bad habits, all the shit that makes you a loser. Because you think it's cool, you think, I can handle my liquor, Freeman. Well, why are you drinking it in the first place? You know what I'm saying? I can handle these dumb bitches, Freeman. Why are you fucking with dumb bitches in the first place? You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers love to sing about how much of a man they are and talk about how much of a man they are, and then when you stand next to them, they got fetishes that make you think of them like they can't control themselves. You know what I'm saying? You're uncivilized, and I always bring it up when I talk about this shit. I bring it up towards money. Why would I be scared of the dude who's smoking weed so much that if we got into a fight, this motherfucker would not have no stamina? Why would I be scared of the dude who literally has 3 baby mamas, who at any time I can talk to them and make your life a living hell? Right? Why would I be worried about you? You would go to jail in 10 seconds. If I really wanted to fuck you over, I could walk right to the cops and say, that motherfucker's skipping out on his child support payment. You'll be gone, young dumb motherfucker, because you uncivilized. Not that I would go to the cops anyway. I can't be doing that shit anyway. But I want you to know, man. Look at the kind of man you are, and determine if you have any flaws that anyone can exploit. Right? And determine if those things are going to be to your detriment. Right? At this moment, I have people who are against me, who hate me, and I'm just sitting there smiling and laughing because that motherfucker know, and he probably listening to this podcast, that motherfucker know, I know all kind of dumb shit about him, right? And who he really is. You know what I'm saying? And what kind of man he is. And that motherfucker's uncivilized. You know what I'm saying? He's a goddamn liar. And I'm not going to bring it up. I'm just going to sit here and keep doing my thing. But he's a goddamn liar. And he knows I know he's a goddamn liar. Right? So, you can't trust his word. He's not a man. He's really saying one thing and he's something else. It's like your suburb kids. You come into Compton every once in a while and you're happy to have a cousin from Compton so you can try to be a thug when you ain't a thug. You're not really living this life. You didn't grow up gangbanging, homie. You grew up watching that shit on TV. If it wasn't for the Game or Suge Knight or Snoop, y'all wouldn't even know what Crips and Bloods were. And you gotta thank rap music for making a lot of dumb motherfuckers get even more dumb by being something they can never be. You'll never be gangbanging, homie. You didn't grow up with it. You don't know this life. You know what I'm saying? You're just trying to live it so everybody else can feel it. Like I said in the thing before, a lot of y'all motherfuckers false flag, and that's why y'all dying on these streets. Because y'all not really built that way. Y'all didn't come up in this shit. But I have to ask you, like I said again, who's scared of a dude this way? See, a lot of, you have a lot of young black brothers, man, and y'all think, they don't want us to come together. Who comes together with a weed smoker, motherfucker? Who comes together with a motherfucker who can't control his wife or his women that are around? Who comes together with a motherfucker who thinks he's a pimp or a Mac? How can I build with you, you dumb motherfucker? How can we break bread with a motherfucker who thinks he's a pimp? You tell me, how is it the National Pimp Alliance, homie? Do you see pimps coming together? Right? I mean, why are you a threat? How are you a threat to what is going on? How are you a revolutionary thinker, a soldier? What the fuck? Who the fuck's scared of you? You can't even straighten yourself up. You know what I'm saying? You can't even stand on your own two. You can't even be respectable. Motherfuckers can't trust your word and shit. When times get rough, your bitch ass go to drinking and smoking. Who can fight in a war with a motherfucker who drinks and smokes every time shit hit the fan? You ain't even tough enough to run. You understand what I'm saying? To do what you gotta do. You motherfuckers are uncivilized. You understand what I'm saying? And you haven't learned how to do. See, this is the thing I always want to put on this podcast. I grew up in Compton, verified, certified, homie. It ain't no fake shit. I didn't stay outside of Compton. I wasn't one of them dudes who came to visit. I wasn't the dude who grew up in a house, staying in a house when shit was outside. I wasn't one of them dudes, and you could probably hear it in my voice that I wasn't one of them dudes. You know what I'm saying? So I grew up around all the same shit that you did, whether motherfuckers had keys, strapping pounds of weed, you know what I'm saying, sherm, all kind of shit. I grew up with it. Rapes, murders, all kind of shit. I grew up with them, right? So I don't sit here and say, you know what, man, I'm still from the streets. I still smoke and I drink and I rape bitch. I don't do any of that shit. And I never did any of that shit. Because I was civilized, homie. I was smart. I was moral. I had a fucking compass to say, I can't be walking around here. I grew up in chaos. Don't mean I gotta act chaotic, homie. I civilized myself. You know what I'm saying? I got rid of the motherfuckers who were gonna get me a goddamn fair case by dumb by association, homie, because I was dumb to be associated with them motherfuckers. I civilized myself. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't mean I didn't see it. Doesn't mean I wasn't part of it. Doesn't mean I didn't do a whole bunch of shit that will never come up. But it's a thing of me saying, hey, that time is over. But for a lot of you young cats, you're uncivilized and you're trying to figure out, how can I keep it real? Keep it real with what, motherfucker? You keeping it real with drugs? How can you keep it real with drugs? This is the shit this is why this podcast had to come out. Because how can you keep it real when you doing fucking drugs and that is part of who you think you are? That's what makes you tough, right? Every day when a man gets off work, they used to all go to happy hour, all get drunk, all drink, because they had a shitty life. You understand what I'm saying? They didn't have a good life. If they had a good life, when you have a good life, guess what? You don't really go to have drinks to get over your day. You go to have drinks in celebration. When you see rich people, and when they make it up on TV, they're celebrating a good time. New Year's, whatever the fuck it is. They're not celebrating bad times. They're not saying, man, it was so hard today, I gotta go get me a drink. And you don't hear no one with any chips in their pocket drinking alcohol the way you slave-filled day motherfuckers are doing your life. You know what I'm saying? And then they know that your ass is uncivilized. Who is scared of you? That you can't even conquer yourself? That you can't discipline yourself? Who's scared of you? I told you, look, I tell you every time, man, my job is to avoid you motherfuckers. You understand what I'm saying? If I know that the average dumb motherfucker on this street, right, wants to fuck the baddest woman he can find, right, drive the funniest looking car he can have, right, and walk in and smoke as much weed as possible, it seems that shit ain't hard for me to avoid. You know what I'm saying? First of all you motherfuckers are dating is hood rats, because that's the only person who would love a motherfucker like you. You loser. You got money with no business, with no building, with no foundation, with no empire. Everybody know it's today and it's gone tomorrow. Nobody, only a dumb bitch fucks with you, homie. You understand what I'm saying? That's why you get mad. She stuck up. She ain't stuck up. She know you ain't shit. She don't want to be with an uncivilized motherfucker either. You understand what I'm saying? Faking the funk, don't got no money in your pocket, still trying to move dope and shit, telling everybody that you legit, trying to wear a suit you don't have no business ass, got a card to give out that's going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Who the fuck's scared of you? You understand what I'm trying to get at here? All you motherfuckers, because you're not smart enough, nobody ever came back and told you, you need to cut this dumb shit out. When you hear me on this podcast, you hear that I grew up similar to you. You hear it in what I say and how I express it. But I civilized myself. I educated myself. See, the thing that pisses a lot of people off when they meet me, and it's not a thing to slide on them. First, I don't really want to meet people and be part of no association of idiots. But the thing is, they know I'm a little bit of both, right? So when I talk, I'm not going to say, hey, you know what? If that dude doesn't owe me any money, you know what? I think I'm going to file a court case against him. No, I think if that motherfucker don't give me my money, I'm going to see his ass in the morning, 5 a.m. when he taking his kids out, and I'm going to sock that motherfucker in his head and kick his kid in the back of her head. And then, that's a little bit too much, but that's how serious I think about my money. Now, that shows you that I didn't come from the area where we going to go get a lawyer. It's not. I'm thinking that motherfucker had enough. He's man enough to take my money. He's man enough to deal with me coming to get it. Right? So I'm a little bit of both. Because I educated myself. You understand what I'm saying? I didn't sit there like everybody else. I wanted to figure out how to make real money. I didn't want to have the money where motherfuckers, the cops are coming after me every day. This is why so many of y'all young brothers go to jail so much. Because you have not elevated your game. All of us start off with some illegal shit, some petty shit. Because that's what we see. Only a few of us keep growing and thinking and building and moving on. What do you think is called when the motherfuckers would launder their money, the mafia? When they would tell you they're cleaning their money, that means they thought about how to make their money legit, right? They moved on. They started buying businesses. They wanted to legitimize themselves. They wanted to civilize themselves. You understand what I'm saying? They wanted to get out of this shit. They didn't dwell in it, take pride in it, be happy to be dumb, to be caught by the police over dumb shit. Right? They went and got their lawyers so they can make sure all these steps you hear is a motherfucker who civilizes himself. He goes and protects himself. He gets out of the game that brings him all of the trouble. Right? This is the same thing that a business does. They go into riskier businesses until they can get into non-riskier businesses to make their money. They take their chances in something that could either make or break them, just like every one of us who grew up on the streets, who grew up with this understanding. We take chances on things that can make or break us. And when we make it, a lot of y'all cats stay right there. But when these cats make it, they move on. Right? They civilize themselves. They run a legit business. They figure out how to clean themselves up. The cops won't catch him smoking crack. The cops won't catch him smoking weed. The cops won't catch him drunk on a corner getting motherfucking DUIs. Right? These motherfuckers got enough chips to get drunk and go and catch a cab if they need to. These motherfuckers say keep all that crack and weed and shit away from me. You understand what I'm saying? That might have been my past, but it's not my future. He civilized himself. And that's what you cats refuse to do. I get a lot of emails from you cats, and you're dealing with a lot of shit, a lot of hood shit, right? And I try to tell you how to get away from it, but you cats want to stay there because you think that's where your manhood lies. That's where your toughness lies. You know what I'm saying? You think because you grew up in Beirut or something, or Lebanon and shit, and you know what I'm saying, you calling your shit the new Lebanon because you live over in Watts or Compton or wherever the hell you grew up at. You know what I'm saying? New Orleans and all this other stuff. You think because you grew up there that you staying there is the essence of being tough because you can walk right back into the war zone. That's because you're stupid, right? No motherfucker who grew up in the middle of craziness wants to keep going back into it to prove that he can deal with craziness. He wants to stay away from craziness because he knows what crazy looks like. Civilize yourself, young homie. Learn. The reason why you hear so much of me on this podcast, and like I said before, where you could tell I grew up similar to you, is because I grew up there too, but I read. I wanted to know how to make money. I read. You want me to give you something? I'll give you something special. This is I'm going to say the number one reason that people, me and them, have disagreements. You know why people don't really get, I always rub people the wrong way. Because I'm smart enough, I'm smarter than them, book-wise, and I'm smarter than them street-wise, right? I don't make too many mistakes. You don't hear me snitching on motherfuckers on the podcast, or you don't hear me bringing up people's names and shit in a derogatory way. I'm very disciplined. I'm very civilized, homie. I don't do that to people. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to build myself off the back of other motherfuckers. I'm strong enough to do it myself. I ain't going to shit on people on the way up to the top. Right? So when I'm having these conversations, I can't help it. Sometimes I bring it up and say, man, you must want to get beat the fuck up, man, because you're always talking about people. And now if you sitting around these motherfuckers who never really ran the streets that way, they sitting there saying, why'd you bring that up? He's not really going to do anything. And I'm sitting there thinking, you got to really assess the kind of dudes you talking about. For some of these dudes, they not the cats who going to sit here and worry about somebody going to catch you slipping and confront your ass and you're going to pee on yourself. And to me, that's why I said I don't want to be out in the public and doing all that shit, because I know somebody going to say something. And they don't even know what the fuck I look like. So I'm going to walk up and knock him the fuck out in front of his kids. And I'm going to ask him with his teeth on the ground, now say what you said. The day of reckoning is coming on me. So I always, this is the thing that I deal with. This is the shit that pisses people off, because I'm always sitting there saying, why are you talking so big and bad knowing that your ass is uncivilized, that you ain't even to the point of controlling your own life. They say don't talk, people shouldn't talk with glass houses or something like that, some dumb shit. That's what an uncivilized motherfucker is. You're a threat to nobody. You can't even stop yourself from the elements outside making you cold, ruining your crops. Right? You smoke weed every day. You drink every time you have a bad day. You have yet to find a decent woman you can build with. Right? Instead, you macking, pimping, thugging. What is that dumb shit you saying? Goon, whatever that dumb shit is. That shit sound like something from Popeye. Right? And all this shit, and you walk around and you look like a little girl with your goddamn funny colors looking like a goddamn rainbow. You know what I'm saying? Who the fuck's scared of you, you uncivilized motherfucker? You haven't even found a way to make money yet. You still doing dirty shit to make money. You haven't even done one thing that shows that you have any growth. Right? No one's scared of the kid on the bike. You know what I'm saying? No one's really scared of the man who's on the bike, riding down the street with a beach cruiser trying to be an old ass gangbanger. Who's scared of you? You old feeble-minded, retarded-looking motherfucker. No one's scared of you. This is the game. And a lot of us have to learn to get out of it. I did. That's why you hear me use big words sometimes. Big words. Sometimes I try to drop the big words, homie. But it's because I can do both. You understand what I'm saying? I civilized myself. Now, I do have some of the benefits of growing up in Compton. Some of the things that some of y'all don't like that are called benefits. My gun is with me because that's a benefit of growing up in areas where motherfuckers have guns. And it comes in handy even when places where motherfuckers don't have guns. So you got to learn to civilize yourself. I might have to do another podcast on this. I might have to make a part 2. I think I got so much more left on this game, but I only like talking for so many minutes. But rewind to the beginning and listen to the very beginning, me telling you who's scared of you. Because you can't control yourself, because you haven't learned how to discipline yourself, because you're uncivilized. Nobody worried about you. You're gonna be the dude who got $1 million, who's smoking weed, doing cocaine, fucking hookers, and gonna get set up and sent to jail and be next to OJ. You old dumb motherfucker. Next time, partner.